And we're going to finish up the 13th chapter of When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. Max and Anna are in Paris with their parents and are taking French lessons, but the teacher has just told their mother that it is time for them to be around other children who speak French. "It's nearly Christmas," she said. "Perhaps you would give them one or more lessons before the holidays, and then they can start school." Even Max worked hard during the remaining time. The prospect of going to a school where no one spoke anything but French was rather daunting. And then Christmas was upon them. Greet went home to Austria for a holiday a few days before, and Mama was busy cooking. The flat soon became rather dusty. But it was so much pleasanter without Greet's grumpy presence that no one minded. Anna looked forward to Christmas and dreaded it all at the same time. She looked forward to it because you could not look forward to Christmas, but she was also terribly afraid that it would make her think of Berlin and what Christmas used to be like, what it had been like every year before, what it had been like even the year before. "Do you think we'll have a tree?" she asked Max. In Berlin, there had always been a big tree in the hall, and one of the delights of Christmas had been to recognize the many-colored glass balls, the birds with the feathery tails, and the trumpets which you could actually blow as they reappeared each year to decorate it. "I don't think the French go in for Christmas trees very much," said Max. However, Mama managed to get one just the same. When Papa called the children at tea time on Christmas Eve for the celebration to begin, they rushed into the dining room. It was the first thing Anna saw. It was only a little tree, about 2 feet high, and instead of glass ornaments, Mama had hung it with lamata and covered it with little candles. But it looked so pretty, shining green and silver above the red oilcloth of the table, that Anna suddenly knew that Christmas would be all right. Presents were modest compared with previous years, but perhaps because everyone needed them more, they enjoyed them just as much. Anna had a new paint box and Max a fountain pen. Omama had sent some money, and Mama had bought Anna new shoes with her share. Anna had had to try them on in the shop, so they were not a surprise, but Mama had hidden them away immediately afterwards, so they would still be new for Christmas. They were thick brown leather with gold buckles, and she felt very grand in them. She also had a pencil sharpener in a little case and a pair of hand-knitted red socks from Strauss-Wern, and when she thought she had seen all her presents, she found one more, a very small parcel from Uncle Julius. Anna opened it carefully and gave an exclamation of delight. "It's lovely!" she cried. "What is it?" Nestling in tissue paper with a short silver chain hung with tiny animals, there was a lion, a horse, a cat, a bird, an elephant, and, of course, a monkey. "It's a charm bracelet," said Mama, fastening it round her wrist. "How nice of Julius." "There's a letter with it," said Max, handing it over. Anna read it out. "Dear Anna," it said, "I hope this little present will remind you of our many visits to the Berlin Zoo. It is not nearly so nice going there without you. Please give my love to your dear Aunt Alice. I hope she is well. Tell her I think of her often, and of her good advice, which I should perhaps have taken. My love to you all, yours, Uncle Julius." "What does that mean?" asked Anna. "We haven't got an Aunt Alice." Papa took the letter from her. "I think he means me," he said. "He calls me Aunt Alice because the Nazis often opened letters, and he could get in bad trouble if they knew that he was writing to me." "What advice did you give him?" asked Max. "I told him to leave Germany," said Papa, and added under his breath, "Poor Julius." "I'll write and thank him," said Anna. "I'll paint him a picture with my new paint box." "Yes," said Papa, "and tell him Aunt Alice sends her love." Then, suddenly, Mama made a sound, with which by now they were all familiar. "My chicken!" she cried, and rushed off to the kitchen. But it was not burned, and soon they were sitting down to a real Christmas dinner, all cooked by Mama. As well as the chicken, there were roast potatoes and carrots, and apple flan with cream to follow. Mama was becoming quite a good cook. She even made gingerbread hearts because they belonged to a proper German Christmas. There was something wrong with them, and they had gone soggy instead of being hard and crisp, but they tasted quite nice just the same. At the end of the meal, Papa poured them all some wine, and they drank a toast. "To our new life in France," he said, and they all repeated, "To our new life in France." Mama did not actually drink any of the wine, because she said it all tasted like ink to her, but Anna liked it and drank a whole glassful. Her head felt muzzy when she finally got to bed, and she had to close her eyes to stop the yellow lampshade and the wardrobe from whirling round and round. It had been a nice Christmas, she thought, and soon she would go to school and find out what living in France was really like. And that's the end of chapter 13.